All right, guys. Welcome back to Food, Family, and Fitness with myself, Big Daddy, and the handsome Marcus over here. Marcus, how you doing today?
Pretty good. Hey, Prep Brain. What'd you call the show?
What did I say?
I think you said
Did I
food,
say the
family,
wrong
and
damn
fitness.
thing?
You said food,
Food.
family, fitness.
Man, I probably said it wrong. Yeah.
You're
I don't
you're
even know the
tired.
name of the damn show.
For
Yeah.
for everybody here that's listening, Caleb is currently about 60 hours away from his second show of the year, and then another week after that, he's got his third and final show for this
Yes, my
year.
brain hurts right now.
Yes.
I'm
How
not
long
gonna
you been
lie.
in prep for?
Whoa, 30 weeks.
I thought it was about 30 weeks. That is
Yeah.
that is a rough
30,
journey.
maybe 30, 31, something like that.
Yeah.
Yes, it's been a
We'll
while, man.
we'll circle back and dive into that because that is today's topic is talking about Caleb's prep. So I'm excited to kind of pick his brain about that stuff and let him share that stuff with you. But anyway, sorry to interrupt you.
No, I already fucked up the name. So Jesus, I only know the name of our own stuff. How was your 7 days?
That's what we get for naming it three F's just in a row.
Yeah,
All
man,
that
it's just
alliteration. No,
welcome
last
to the Triple F
there you
podcast.
go. That works as well. We'll have
Yeah,
to get the Triple H his walkout music for
yeah.
our new music. I did get a couple of compliments though on people saying they really like the intro music on the podcast though. It's still been a challenge sometimes to get that stuff uploaded in the correct way, but I'm getting it now. I'm getting a hang of it. It's
Yeah,
taking me
no,
less and less
man. I
time.
mean, I think this is both, to go off on a tangent here, I think this has both been more than what we expected. This is our sixth, I don't even know. But I know we're over 700 downloads.
Mhm.
And so thank you guys. Leave reviews, share with a friend. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, no. So last 7 days probably looks it sounds a little bit different energy wise from yourself, but no, I had what was it? So last week I got sick on Wednesday after going to a concert on Tuesday night. But again, I didn't drink much. I don't know why I got sick. And we had a Halloween party on Saturday. Went as the Hulk, of course. Everybody else wanted to go as the Avengers. And I was like, all right, perfect. I don't have to buy anything for this except for a little bit of green paint. Um, and then I partially ripped my shirt. I didn't rip it all the way off. I felt like kind of a tool if I was going to be walking around shirtless, but I should have. Who
Yeah.
knows?
No, you don't want to be that guy.
Nah, I don't want to be that guy. I mean, they were all fairly close friends, but still, no. But yeah, woke up feeling not too good Sunday. I didn't drink a whole lot, but I think that weakened my immune system, and then that allowed me to get sick. Because then I don't know what it was, but I felt worse and worse and worse Sunday, and then felt absolutely miserable on Monday. I had to go to work, stay away from the kids, mask on, all that good stuff. I tested for COVID, was negative, but I felt worse as the day went on Monday. Called into work on Tuesday when got some IV therapy at Core Lab Solutions down the road, which was awesome. And I feel 90% today. Like I felt like I could actually go to the gym today. I didn't,
Oh,
as
nice.
as you told me to take the week off, which has
Yep.
actually been nice. I can get caught up on stuff, but business wise, all good. I had that holiday special that I've been kind of promoting the past couple of weeks. Didn't really get any bites on it, as I figured. Kind of going the holidays, not a good time. It's not a time where a lot of people want to get started, but
Yeah.
then I had a surplus of people. I think I had like 6 people sign up with that, a couple other just normal regular program signups, all within like a 3 day span. So that was
Nice.
an awesome way to close it October. It created a very busy week this week with me being sick on top of it, but all good though. And I'm looking up, feeling good right now.
Heck yeah, man. That's what's up, dude.
How about you, brother? How's peak week been?
Man, it's been pretty crazy. We did two trunk or treats this weekend, like we participated in. So that was kind of nice because we used it as a, I guess, promotion opportunity. We also printed out like 300 flyers and we handed out flyers to the parents,
Oh, that's awesome.
which we probably handed out like a little over 100. We already got one parent in today. So like if we can, I mean, out of 100 flyers, if I can get 3 to 4 people in, I think that's a win.
Mhm.
Um, so that was fun. Max went trick or treating. He was Mickey Mouse. He was super hype all weekend. So that was a lot of fun.
Was
Let's
he
see,
Mickey Mouse the
man.
whole weekend, or was he Mickey
The
Mouse
whole
just the whole?
weekend.
Okay, good. All
Yeah,
right, yeah,
every day he was Mickey
yeah.
Mouse. Yeah, Tatiana did his costume, looked really good. Other than that, man, it's just same old, dude. I just had clients this week. I did have one consultation. They haven't signed up yet. I had a couple more I had to reschedule for tomorrow. But life doesn't stop, dude. I had a phone call consult the other night with one of my old buddies from PCB. For those of you who don't know, I used to live in Panama City Beach, Florida for 12 years before I moved to Kansas City. And that one phone call may turn into 3 clients. So, that was pretty good.
That's awesome.
And then I closed out October, a record month. I'm very blessed for that. And then, yeah, just trying to get through peak week, man. A little scatterbrained, stress is still there, is just because you're prepping, life doesn't stop. So, I woke up this morning to, I need to pay, I had to write the check for the architect, and then our Stairmaster shit out. So I had to call my equipment guy. I got to get a new Stairmaster. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's just little things that add up here and there to
How much
stress you out.
those Stairmasters run?
Usually at least a couple grand, anywhere from 2 to 5, depending on
I was hoping
how new, refurbished.
I could grab one for the house. Never mind.
Well, I mean, I'm going to end up upgrading all of them here relatively
Okay.
soon. If I'm going to do one, I'm just going to do all three.
Well.
So if that's the case, I can sell you one for cheap.
Oh, perfect. I'll
Because
have to elevate our ceilings though, because I don't think I can fit it in most
we
of our
can
house.
make it work.
There you
But
go.
yeah, man, a very, very, very good week. Just trying to finish it out and
Yeah.
get through it.
Yes, which I'm excited to dive in there for you. Well, good,
Yeah.
and congrats on the PR month. I actually had one myself as well. I didn't even mention that, but yeah, so we're on the same page with that, then that's awesome.
I can. Yeah, well, we're that's one thing we like to do here is we're leveraging each other and building together while keeping things separate, which is kind of nice because you don't see that a lot anymore.
No, you don't see that really at all in most things. So that is really, really cool. It's been awesome to see that. But all right, dude. Well, yeah, let's go ahead and get on into it. Talking today about Caleb's comp prep. He's 30 weeks in right now, but we want to kind of start prior to this prep, the prep before the prep. So tell us about, your coach, how long you've been with him, and how all that kind of started. Anything else that makes sense, the prep before the prep?
Yeah, so I think it's important when you compete. I think it's important to set goals when you get off stage. And one of the things that I'll do is I'll pick a show tentatively a couple years down the road. So I like to compete every other year. I'm not very good, so I need time to put on muscle. Plus, I opened a business within that time, so it just needed to work for our schedule. And like I said, I'll talk to my wife and be like, "Hey, this is what I'm thinking. Does this fit within our schedule?" You know what I mean? Because if it doesn't fit, then we can't do it. Um, so I ended up reaching out to my coach. I work with Andrew Barry. I worked with the same guy, Mike Skinner, for a really long time. I think 8 years. And then towards the end, I felt like I just wanted to go a different direction, continue learning at a higher level within the bodybuilding realm. Mike's amazing. I've learned so much from him. But he is now co-owner of like an HRT clinic. He's very busy. He's not as much in the bodybuilding scene anymore. So I wanted to continue moving and learning from different people as my coaching progresses. So I know more than just a couple ways, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I reached out to Andrew. I was a big John Meadows fan. He took me on, and I think what's really important here is that I knew I wanted to compete fall of 22. So I wanted to start working with him as early as possible. So I actually started working with him in spring of 21. And I think that's really important because people, they want to prep and they hire a coach 16 weeks out. They don't know your body. They don't know if you've been sticking to a diet. That's a lot of work to ask of someone you've never worked with before to get them ready right away. So I was able to work with Andrew for a full year off season. It was actually about from Memorial Day to Memorial Day. Because I remember I started with him like 4 weeks before we went to Vegas in 21 for our anniversary. And we started prep about 5 weeks to 6 weeks before prep or before Memorial Day this year. Um, so we pushed food pretty hard, man. I got up to 290. I think 293 was my heaviest.
Would you
And
come
then
off stage your last show at?
I was 223, but I was like, I was not in shape. I probably could have dropped another 20 pounds.
And for those of you, if you haven't went back and looked at Caleb's, pictures over the years, this is something that I'm always astonished by. just seeing your progress. Since I've known you, since I know that you've been competing and whatnot, is seeing your progress. Because I mean, how tall are you? 6'3", 6'4"?
6'1.5".
No, I don't. You seem 6'3", 6'4". You got that.
Well,
You got that.
that's
You got
because
that
you're
six
like
foot
barely
energy.
5 foot. Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Anybody over 6 foot might as well be an 8-footer.
I got that big high energy.
But you do got the big high energy. But like on top of that, like that's hard to already put, good, solid, dense muscle mass on as well, because it's so spread out over,
It doesn't go as far as someone like you.
Yeah, no, I put on 5 pounds and it looks like I gained 25 pounds. You put on 5
Yeah.
pounds, look like you gained 5 pounds.
It looks like I gained 2.
Yeah, exactly. So, but again, like going looking through all those, like it's amazing. That shows how much hard work you put in the off season to get ready for these preps, and then you come in every single prep looking tighter and tighter, and heavier and heavier on stage, which is always awesome with it. So you stepped off the stage last time, like you said, you could have been 10 pounds lighter. So let's just say you were 210 stage weight, ish. But you were actually 220, obviously. And then you went up to 290 by pushing food with.
So I went up. Yeah. So I went up. I rebounded pretty hard to 245 and I looked really good. And then while we were getting the gym open, I didn't train for about a month and a half because I was just so busy. So I got back to working with my old coach in December of 2020. We worked together till about March, April, and I was 265-ish, 270 around that time.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like I was kind of chunky and I was going to pull back food. And then I started with Andrew and he like doubled my food. And I'm talking like I had never eaten so much in my life. And it really gave me an inside look to like and it made me a better coach for it because I would always be scared to push food with people. And now like I'll push it. I don't care because I've seen what it takes to really kind of get to that next level. And I understand I'm not next level, but it really did bring a lot to my physique. My performance increased. Over the course of 6 months, I got up to 290s. And I put on muscle, you know what I mean? This morning I was like 215. I think I'm the leanest I've ever been. So, I would probably say I probably put on 10 pounds of tissue this year, which doesn't sound like a lot, but
that's a lot.
That's a lot of tissue. You know what I mean? And food was the main driver. I remember, dude, I would be miserable, like sitting on the edge of my bed at 10:30 at night, like shoveling in 2 cups of rice and 8 ounces of beef before bed. You know what I mean? Breathing heavy, like,
oh my God, I'm so done with this.
Tatiana's like disgusted by me.
And just praying, when can prep start so I can cut some of this food out? Yeah.
And then, so, fast forward, like I started prep around 30 weeks out and actually 30 weeks from, about 30 weeks total. And originally I was going to compete in August in the Tampa Pro-Am. But with the gym expansion, I was like, dude, there's no way. Like, this isn't going to happen. So I pushed it back. We prepped for about 6 weeks. I probably dropped 10 pounds in the first 6 weeks. Went to Vegas, had a week off, not even a week, like 4 days. And he knew I was going to Vegas. And I told him, I'm like, listen, I'm going for my anniversary. Like, I'm going to eat what I want. I'm going to drink what I want, but I'm not going to be an asshole. I think I came back actually losing a pound. And we came back and we hit it hard from day one, man. And, I got refeeds for a while, but I haven't had besides my post meal show, I haven't had an actual cheat meal since Memorial Day. And I don't even know how many weeks that is. 24.
Something crazy. Yeah. That's some hard work right there.
Yeah. It's been crazy. I'm not I love cheat meals, but I feel like they're kind of a crutch sometimes, but that's why you have to like pick and choose your coach wisely. Cause some people have to have cheat meals. Versus if I have a goal of stepping on stage, I'll go without. Like I may want it, but like I don't care. I'll do what I need to do to get in shape. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I understand. If we were talking about just a general population client, like obviously no, like you get a cheat meal. We want to have balance in our life for that type of stuff. But as a competitor though, especially if your coach is saying, hey, no cheat meals, and there's a reason why we're doing no cheat meals, like that's the difference of, I mean, you're an elite athlete. You're about to step on stage, like you said, I think last week talking about it, like I'm going to step on stage and essentially be naked. Like I know that I'm going to be against other guys who have also been putting in the same amount of work, and those extra things like that are, if they're not needed, they're not needed. And it's a matter of I'm going to follow this plan because I'm about to step on stage. And ultimately, as a comp prep coach, that's what you're hoping for out of a competitor that comes to you. It's not somebody that says, "Oh, I want cheat meals. I want all this stuff." Like, okay,
Yeah.
well, then go-to coach is going to allow you to do that. That okay, you're not going to look your best in if
Yeah.
you're needing these things that I'm telling you don't need.
And now some people can get away with it,
Of
but
course.
if I'm being honest, I can't. Like I'm a I always get them confused. It's endomorph. That's the chubbier one, right? I always get endo and ecto confused.
I don't ever use them much. I'm not looking at that usually whenever I'm
Yeah.
creating a plan for anybody. I think it's
Whatever the
yeah.
chubbier one
Yes,
is.
there you go. There you go.
Yeah. I am naturally that. So it's like I have to basically die to get in shape. So,
Yeah.
at this point, I've lost 75 pounds
Mm-hmm.
over the course of 30 weeks. That's 2.5 pounds on average a week. That's not really sustainable for a lot of people.
No.
So, what did it take to get there? Well, I know for the last month and a half, I've done basically 1,600 calories and 2 hours of cardio a day. And not many people would be willing to do that. You know what I mean?
No.
It's very mentally challenging,
Mhm.
and I think that's why I like prep so much. Well, I mean, I like prep, but I hate prep. But I,
Mhm.
I like bodybuilding for the mental challenge of it. The
Mhm.
physical part's easy to me. It's the mental challenge that kind of gets me.
100%. Well, and the great thing that I always like about it, I'm sure you do as well, is that if you can take it and understand how to apply that discipline and that mindset towards other areas of your life, towards business, towards just being a better dad or a better husband. Like it doesn't have to be so intense, but if you can do that for such a long period of time, controlling every aspect of your life, it as soon as you come out of it, it's easy to crush it and everything because you're
Yeah,
like, shit, I just controlled every aspect of my life for the past 30 weeks without missing a beat.
yeah.
So if you can do that, then you can do pretty much anything else. And that is what's awesome about it. That's amazing. And to put it in perspective, because you just said that how long you've been doing 1,600 calories and 2 hours of cardio?
About a month and a half.
About a month and a half. And you've been doing 2 hours cardio for a while, right?
About a month and a half.
Okay. Okay.
I've been over an hour though for,
For a while.
man, probably 12 weeks. Yeah.
Okay. So 3 months you've been at that much. How long? So you've been at 1,600 calories the past 6 weeks or so. Where were you at like 3 months ago, calorie wise? Just curious.
Uh, Probably around like 2,800.
Okay, cool. So
So
not
honestly,
starving client or starving
no.
calories at that
So
point.
I think I probably started prep around my high days being like 45 to 4,800,
Okay.
and my moderate days being around like 3,000.
Yeah.
So it got cut about in half, but
Mhm.
I mean, prep was honestly pretty easy up until the last 6 weeks, and then that's when he's really dropped the hammer
Mhm.
on me, which has allowed things to be kind of easier in life, instead of dying all the way out.
Mhm.
Um, but also we would just keep going. Well, I mean, we want to change things for a while. I mean, there was like a span where we didn't change anything for like 10 weeks, and we would
Mhm.
just go and go and go. Oh, stall, not refeed. Go, 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 stall. Okay, let's refeed.
Mhm.
It was about every 7 to 8 days we would do a refeed anywhere from 400 to, I think they got all the way up to 800, 900 carbs.
Mhm.
Um, and I would just refeed. I would gain like maybe 4 pounds, 5 pounds, and then within 3 days I'd be 2, 3 pound low every time.
Mhm. And all that poundage that you gained was all purely water weight for the most part.
Water,
Anyway,
yeah.
yeah. And again, to put that all in perspective, especially the past 6 weeks when you're doing 2 hours of cardio, eating 600 calories, I weigh 157 on stage, 158 on stage, and I was eating during the last only 2 weeks 1,600 calories and doing 30 minutes of cardio a day. And
Yeah, it's a
really,
big
and
difference.
and the only reason why I even had to go that deep in my calories and probably even that much cardio is only because of what I did leading up to it, which we don't need to
Yep.
dive into all that stuff because other preps I've been able to eat 2,500 calories or even 3,000 calories majority of that prep until the last few weeks. And again, doing minimal cardio, 25, 30 minutes a day. So that just shows how much more work you got to do with your genetics to get on stage, which is why it's so much more impressive. That's it's crazy to me what you're able to do
Yeah,
with it.
I appreciate that. I really don't think, I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's impressive. I think it's all relative. You know what I mean? No matter what, like, I'm sure, I don't know. Ian Valier. I'm sure like when he's under 300 grams of carbs, I'm sure he probably feels just as shitty as I do on 100 grams. You know what I mean?
That
I think
yeah.
there is some relativeness
Mm.
to it, but I think there are those people that just have to push the boundaries further to get there. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and then at that point, it becomes about stress management. You know what I mean? And you have to think like life doesn't stop, like I said earlier. So I'm still running the gym. I'm still running a coaching business, hitting PRs on sales, trying to be a dad, trying to be a husband. It's it's a lot to balance. I feel like I got 10 oars in the water, but you just do the best you
Yeah.
can with it. And that's why it's so good to talk to your spouse about prep, is because they're your support system, and it's just not you that's prepping.
Mm-hmm.
Tatiana hasn't had a date night since Memorial Day.
Yeah.
That's a long time. We
It's a big
haven't done
sacrifice.
anything just the two of us. That's a big sacrifice for her.
Mm-hmm.
And today I actually just surprised her with movie tickets and dinner reservations for the weekend after the show.
Perfect.
Yeah, because the weekend after the show will actually be our 7-year anniversary of like
Oh,
just together.
that's perfect timing.
Yeah, it is perfect timing.
That's
So we're gonna
perfect
go to
timing.
Maggiano's Little Italy,
Nice.
and go see Wakanda Forever. So
There
I'm
you go.
excited about it.
That, that,
But
that's exciting. That's a good little light at the end of the tunnel for you guys. Because I know that's, again, we've talked about this before. It's I think it's hardest on the family,
oh,
hardest
for sure.
hardest on the spouse, because they gotta, bite their tongue when you're being,
Mhm.
when you're shorter. And it's not because you're being short for them because you're upset with them. You just named it. You're doing 2 hours of cardio a day. You're eating 600 calories a day. You can't just have the frivolous things when it comes to food and stuff like that. Then you're also running a full-time gym and a full-time online coaching business, not to mention just trying to be there as much as you can. This weekend's a good example that you guys had plans with friends and family. You guys had, obviously trick-or-treating all weekend long, essentially at trunk or treats and stuff like that. And you made yourself available to have the best energy you could there for that. And that's again, very, very tough. But I really like at the very beginning of all this, you said that when you stepped off stage last time and you started envisioning, okay, when's the next show going to be, and having that conversation, because this is something, I've been around bodybuilders all my life, and I've seen so many relationships crash and burn.
And it's almost like, and it's sad too, because it's almost
It
like they're
is.
proud of it. Like I was so hardcore that I ruined my
Yeah.
relationship, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that's awful.
Yeah. Like, again, unless you're, Jay Cutler status, unless you're like your living is set from bodybuilding,
Yeah,
that's the only time that even makes kind of sense. And ultimately, if you've been married for however long, if you've been with somebody, you got a family with them, that still doesn't compare to me. That still is
yeah,
not worth it. Let alone if you're just, I really want to step on stage and whatever the case is, like what at what cost. But so again, like I like how, because that's exactly what I do as well. I'm looking, I don't just decide on a show in 6 weeks and then step on stage. I'm at planning for it to some way, shape, or form, and then making sure that it works with Nicole, works with our
yeah,
plans and where we're going, and stuff like that. So I'm thinking, down the road and then working backwards from there and see what
yeah.
works.
Well, it's like,
Love that
yeah,
you do
life
that.
stuff, weddings, vacations. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's a lot to plan around.
of course. Yeah. And some of those things, like, can I sacrifice my choices? Then of course I can on certain things, but some things it's like, you're not going to do a show in April when you guys are celebrating your anniversary and you're going to Vegas in February.
Yeah,
Like
no, it's not gonna
you're not
happen.
going to plan a show for then. And if we have
Nope.
the capability to plan a show around this stuff, then let's go ahead and do that so that we can win,
Yep.
and not just lose for our spouse or and family.
Yeah. So
Good
yeah,
stuff.
it's a lot, man. So
Definitely.
yeah, no, like, and fast forward, not a lot happens in the middle of prep. You know what I mean? It's Groundhog Day. It's the same shit every day. You wake up, you eat, you train, you do your cardio, you go home, you do it over again.
Yep.
And now we're in peak week. Things are a little different. This week was fun so far. Sunday and Monday we did a true fat load,
Cool.
which I think has really helped me so far. So for those of you who don't know, fat loading is basically is what it's called. It's fat. You eat more fat. We lower our protein, we increase our fat intake. And the reason that is because our muscles hold intramuscular triglycerides, which are fats. And those stores can get really zapped when we're doing really intense things and depleting like this. So for people who their bodies tend to run better on fats, like myself with my body composition, we did 2 days of fat loading, and my look immensely changed. Like I got much harder, more vascular, like visibly harder, just from standing there. I could tell. My upper back went from flat to decently full and veiny. So it was a nice difference. And then yesterday and today, we carbed real hard. I think yesterday, what I said, I did like, I can't remember, like 550. Today I'm doing a little over 6. You know what I mean? So the food's there. And then tomorrow will be low carb, high protein. Reason being is because I'm going to be holding water from 2 days of carving up. So we're going to use higher protein to help excrete that water. I'm doing vitamin C every meal. You know what I mean? That also helps excrete some more water. And then Friday will really just be, we'll play it by ear. Maybe I need carbs. Maybe I just need fats. You know what I mean? We'll kind of look at how the body looks. We'll use my blood glucose. If my glucose is high, then clearly I don't need more food. I need proteins, fats, and we kind of just go from there and ride it meal by meal.
I like it.
Yeah.
Have you done fat loading like that before?
I've never done fat loading like that before. And I actually, I thought it was a really good tool. After we did it, it made me sit down and think about it. It made a lot of sense for those endomorphs. I'm just going to say it's endo. I'm probably wrong. I don't care. The chubbies out there.
The chubbies.
I think it works really well. It tends to make a lot of sense. So that was my first time ever actually doing like that. So it was a fun learning experience at the same time.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's nice that you got a different experience out. You got a different tool to put in your own little toolbox as a coach, as a competitor, knowing what works best for your body and stuff like that. So that's cool that you tried it and it worked like that.
And that's like the difference in bodies. You stay lean and I've pushed your fats a little higher than what you're used to, but usually are really good around like that 50 to 60 fat.
Yeah.
I feel my best when I'm eating anywhere between 110 and 140. Fats.
Now I feel great when I'm doing that, but in comp prep and those stages that, I work well with carbs. I can eat a lot of carbs generally, and my body handles that very well. And then, more moderate fat, like you said, 50 to 60 range is usually where I'll hang out for a majority of prep. But yeah, it's crazy the differences in bodies and what we all respond better to.
Yeah. I feel like if I just carb, that I will fill up, but I still don't look as hard as what I could. And when I use fats with it, I feel like I load harder. And I'm much fuller and rounder and a lot more grainy. So
that makes sense. So now that the light is in the tunnel, you got a couple more days left to get ready for this show. And this show's in Kansas City, right?
This show's in Overland Park this weekend.
Oh, okay, nice. What do you know what time you go on stage yet or anything?
I'm assuming within the first hour, because typically bodybuilding's first.
Yeah. Do you know what time the night show is?
7.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. So then you have that, and then you've got another week then. So you go right back into another peak week for another show, right?
Yep. I have another show next weekend too. That'll be my last one ever.
And where is that one at?
That was in Des Moines. So that'll be a fun show too. Yep.
And you said that's your last one ever.
Last one. I am retiring.
Retiring.
Can you retire if you don't really have a career? I don't know.
You definitely you can definitely retire for bodybuilding. I'll support you either way. I would be curious to see what you do in like 5 years. Like eventually seeing if that fire comes back. Not saying it will, not saying that it should. I'm just curious if it does and if it doesn't, who knows?
Yeah. So I think the fire will always be there. Tut and I talked about it a lot this weekend. We had like a really big heart to heart, and that's what I love about car rides. We love road tripping because we have those conversations.
You just talk. Yeah.
Yeah. And we were out running errands and Max was in school. So we were able to talk, and maybe in 5 years when I'm a master, but this won't come out till Monday. We'll already announce, but we're opening another gym next year. We're trying to have another baby. You know what I mean? Business wise and family wise, it's not going to happen for at least 2 years minimum. And I'll be 34 at that time. I think I'm very lucky because I get to do what I love for work, and I get to be around it all the time. I'm going to try not to cry right now. And I get to be around my clients who are better than I am. And that brings me a lot of fulfillment. And I'm
without having to suck away from
my family. And I finally come to the conclusion that my family needs me more than I need the stage. And that's when it comes, like, I don't like to take away from my family. When my 5-year-old son goes, "Oh, daddy's doing cardio again. You know what I mean? That like,
Yeah.
that breaks my heart. And
Yeah.
I hate to make that sound like a cop out, but
It's not.
my identity isn't Caleb the bodybuilder anymore like it used to be 5 years ago.
Mhm.
It's Caleb the husband, Caleb the father,
Yeah.
Caleb the business owner, Caleb the coach.
Mhm.
And those are the things that's my hierarchy. It's
Mhm.
family,
Yeah.
business, coaching,
Yeah.
competing's last for me. So
Yeah.
it's like, and when I do compete, those other aspects of my life really take a hit.
Mhm.
Even when I try not to let them take a hit, they're gonna take a hit.
It's
There's no way around
if
it.
you're gonna do your best to get on stage, everything else is gonna take somewhat of a hit.
A
Uh,
hundred
you
percent.
you do a great job about not letting it take a big hit. Like we said, I mean, I've seen so many relationships crash and burn. I've seen so many people's health crash and burn for the sake of stepping on stage. And a lot of that time they don't have the right kind of guidance with it, but you don't allow it to do that, but it still takes a hit. And it's not a cop out whatsoever. You've got your priorities in check in the right direction, especially with where your life is at right now. That it 100% makes sense.
Yeah, and I've been doing this like 10 years now, and for the
Mhm.
most part, I would say I got out with my health,
Mhm.
that I know of, knock on wood. I really haven't had any setbacks or problems. I just want to. I'm still gonna eat,
Mhm.
still gonna train.
Mhm.
My eating will just be different. I'm not gonna push the limits with food. I'm gonna
Yeah.
eat my bodybuilding meals. I'll
Mhm.
eat more pro fat. I'd like to be able to have dinner with my family at night. It's
Mhm.
something I've never done. I've
Yeah.
never. I mean, I do on vacations, but I never sat down and had a meal at the table with my family. It's always my food and their food.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Um, and I feel like as a dad, I need to help set that example for my son
Mhm.
early on what a father and a husband should look like. And I don't, I'm not saying you can't be a good husband and father by eating your meals,
No.
but it's like I just want to be more prevalent in life.
Mhm.
And when I prep, it really takes away from what I'm able to give them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't think my physique is good enough to warrant that. You know what I mean?
I see where you're going with that. But it sounds like, just giving yourself that balance. That
Yes.
really, because even whenever you've been out of prep, like you said, as soon as you got out of your last show, you stepped off stage, you immediately got, you did a reverse diet, you got right back with your same coach, then you got a new coach. And when you're with a coach and you're paying a coach, you're not going to be, dicking around all week long. Like you're going to be, hitting your meals and doing everything they're asking you to do, which is essentially like being in prep again. You got a little more freedom.
I have not gone without a coach since October, October of, I want to say like 2010, 2011. I've
That's
had a coach.
wildly impressive that you've been able to do that without really needing a break from it. Maybe changing coaches and stuff, but you've essentially been
Mm-mm.
on a plan that somebody else been giving you. I mean, obviously you have your own kind of say in some of the different things, but I mean, like you said, not being able to have dinner because majority of the time you're probably still going to have bodybuilding style meals. You're going to have what fix kind of your goals, but you're going to
Yeah,
have the
I'm yeah,
flexibility
yeah.
of, hey, Tatiana want to make dinner on Tuesday night, or hey, you know what? I'm driving home from the gym. I want to stop at Price Chopper at Hy-Vee and grab some food, make some spaghetti or whatever sounds good. I can go do that because I'm not trying to step on stage in 6 months or even a year.
Yeah, no, and I'll
No.
still like my breakfast will be proteins and fats.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some OJ. I'll
Mm-hmm.
have a little bit of carbs before I train with some coconut oil and stuff. I'll have
Mm-hmm.
a little bit of carbs post training with some protein. And then I probably will only have one more meal. I'll probably only eat 4 meals. I'll get plenty of protein in as my main driver.
Mm-hmm.
If Tatiana wants to make a full dinner, I'll eat dinner.
Let's do
If
it.
it's just kind of like whatever, I'll just eat one of my meals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's showing that balance, which is good.
Yeah. The balance and like the little things, like if, uh, like if I wanted a beer, like I would not have a beer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now, like, and I'm not saying I want to drink all the time, but if Tatiana and I go to a nice dinner, like Maggiano's, I want to get a bottle of wine.
Yeah.
I want to have a beer when I go to a game. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And not stress about those things and of it
Mm-hmm.
affecting my physique. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I
Because
still want to train hard. Like
yeah.
I still have some strength goals I want to accomplish. It's not like I'm just giving up.
Yeah.
It's just different shit.
Yeah, you're going to maintain the exact same healthy lifestyle, but a little bit less rigid, less restrictive, which is good for you. It's good for everybody around you. And then you also know that, even if you're not stepping on stage, but you want to lean out a little bit, you want to put on a little bit of
Yeah.
size, you can always, exactly how to pivot to go right into those, but you don't have to live in this rigid mindset, this rigid lifestyle,
Yeah,
uh,
no,
forever with it.
100%. Because I think this will be a great learning experience for
Mhm.
myself and for my clients. Because coming, I was talking to Tatiana the other night. She's like, I can't wait to make you dinner every night and blah blah blah. And I was like, all right, well, calm down.
Don't want every night.
She was like, I thought you wanted dinner, and I was like, I do, but it's like I've been doing this for a very long time, so
Yeah.
it's like to just completely swap right away, like it's gonna be hard for me. Like
Mhm.
I have to ease into it.
Yeah.
I would like to get to a point where I don't need a scale. I can just eyeball things and
Hmm.
eat intuitively,
Yeah.
as the new saying is, but like
Yeah.
it will be hard and it will be a learning curve. And I'm sure at some point um I could run into a patch of depression because I feel like I had nothing that I'm working towards
Hmm.
physique wise. You know what I mean? But I just have to pivot that. And it's like I may not be working physique wise because you can't change your physique for the rest of your life. Like it's just not going to happen as you get older, but pivot that into business and family and things like
Hmm.
that. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but it happens to a lot of people. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? When you're Marcus the bodybuilder for 10 years
Hmm.
and then you stop, it's like, it's a big life change. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
No, it definitely is. I think also a thing that you'll probably go through, because I mean, I did it with baseball. I'm sure you did it as an athlete as well. Like I always I wanted to be known as, Marcus the baseball player. And then as soon as I
Yeah.
didn't have that, I need to find, okay, what's my next, label? Who am I going to identify with, that type of thing? So then it became bodybuilding. So you always kind of got to find that next thing. But I mean, you mentioned a couple things that you're already going to be, and then ultimately you're going to have fun in the gym, and you're going to, still maintain, you still always want to get stronger. I mean, we
Oh
always want to
yeah.
build muscle and build strength and stay looking
Yeah.
good. But like you said, now you don't have to push the food so intensely, so you can actually maintain, a healthier weight, a healthier body composition without this crazy fluctuation of dropping 70 pounds or gaining 70
Yeah.
pounds, whatnot. You can live more moderately. So I'm excited to see
Yeah.
how
I want
you
to get back
handle
to
that.
like, I want to get back between like 250 and
Mhm.
270. I was really
Yeah.
comfortable that weight.
Yeah.
I feel like my body carries it well and
Mhm.
just enjoy life.
I'm excited too, because we're starting this podcast right around this time of both of us are transitioning in different ways in life and business and everything else. So I'm excited that we're kind of going to be able to document this as well, and kind of
Yeah,
see
that's true. I
the,
never
the
thought about
change
that.
the changes you go through with it, the changes with the our businesses or with the gym and things like that. So I think this is coming right at the perfect time of it all. So I'm excited
Yeah.
to see where it goes, brother.
No, it'll be good. And this, one thing on this podcast is we want to try to be like real and raw with you. And it's like
Mhm.
not be afraid to show the emotion or show the struggle,
Yeah.
because so many times now with social media, it's just a highlight reel.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's real shit out there. You know what I mean? Just because me and Marcus are beautiful and we're looking good doesn't mean
You're
we don't struggle
crushing it.
sometimes.
You
Yeah.
got amazing wives. Yeah. Well, good deal, man. You got anything else you want to add with it? I don't think I have any other questions for you about all that stuff.
No,
Uh,
yeah, that's about it. Yeah. If
I
you
would.
give us a follow, I mean, I'm gonna create a new IG this week, Body Shop Lee Summit. We are coming out to Lee Summit next year. So it's gonna be very exciting. We're going to be about double the size of the gym we are now.
It's
We are
exciting.
not closing number one. This will just be location number two. So we
Mhm.
will be looking for trainers, front desk staff. If you live in the Lee Summit area, Blue Springs, wherever it may be ready, because new 24-hour gym's coming. We're excited, and we can't wait to meet everyone. So let's
Yes, sir.
go.
That's exciting. That's exciting.
Yeah, this is the first major, I guess, public announcement. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely. So you're actually announcing this on Saturday, because we're recording this
at
right
the
now
show.
on
Yep.
Wednesday. So you're announcing it there at the show, because you guys are sponsoring this show on this weekend, right?
Yep. Yes, we're gonna announce it at the show.
That's cool. And then you guys will
Yeah.
be hearing it here on Monday morning, whenever you listen to this there after that. Exciting stuff, dude. Congrats on all that stuff. Congrats on being 2 days out from the show. Excited.
Yeah, man. Are you going to the
it.
show this weekend?
I'm gonna hopefully I can make the morning one and I can shift around some clients and whatnot. I can't make the night show, but I'm hoping I can
Cool.
push my clients back in the day a little bit. So I'll just have to find out from you exactly what time we think we're gonna go on.
I think it's
Like
at
8?
noon. I want to say prejudge is at noon.
Oh, even better, even better. That's
Yeah.
perfect. So I don't need to
I don't-
shuffle anything by then.
Yeah, I want to say prejudges at noon and night shows at 7.
Cool.
And usually bodybuilding is like pretty first, so I should be on within 30 minutes to an hour if it starts on time.
All right, all right. Well, I'll text you about it, but otherwise, man, go get some sleep. Finish whatever you got to finish and get some sleep. And,
all right, big dog.
I'll talk to you later, brother.
Have a good night, my man.
All right, man. You too. Real quick, everybody, on Instagram, Food, Fitness, and Family.
Oh shit, yeah, I forgot.
Yes, make sure you guys go give us a follow on there. We're gonna try to. I'm gonna go back and record a bunch of prior YouTubes, and then kind of post little links on there or post little snippets on there. But then hopefully we can kind of start giving you guys little teasers for the upcoming episodes and stuff as we get.
Oh, that'd be dope. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be good.
I gotta log into that still, dude. By the time I get that one and the Least Summit one, I'm gonna have
too much.
4 or 5 Instagrams on my phone. Oh my god.
Yeah. We'll talk about all that stuff later. You got stuff to do tonight, so. Everybody, thanks for listening. Thanks for following. Thanks for subscribing and downloading.
Leave a review.
Always that as well. All right, guys. Have a good one.
Have a good night, guys. Bye.